I have been searching for that perfect deck box for a long time. Not just a deck box, but like an ecosystem of deck boxes, you know what I mean? I've always just kind of used whatever I had on hand to hold my decks, and that kind of worked for a while, but it ultimately failed me. The disorganization of just having boxes kind of thrown in my bag or not being uniform kills me. I needed a solution. I went searching the internet for answers, and I found the professor's video on the Ultimate Guard boulder.
Yet still can hold 100 double-sleeved cards.
Immediately, I was sold. I got rid of most of my Ultra Pro Flavor of the Week deck boxes, you know the ones I mean, with like Liliana and Kellen on them, and I sprung for a set of 4 boulders and an Ultimate Guard archive to hold them all. And I love this solution. I still do, actually. For carrying my Modern deck, 2 Commander decks, and a Pioneer deck down the street, this works like a charm. For 60 card formats and non-double sleeve cards, that is. My double sleeve decks do fit in a boulder, but it's really tight and I can't fit any tokens with them, and I do feel like maybe the boulders are causing damage to my cards. So I began to look for a solution again, and I found this video on the Gamegenic Bastion by, oh, would you look at that? The Professor. He explained all the features, and it was exactly what I was looking for to hold my Mimeoplasm double-sleeved foil commander deck with tokens, and it worked great. Throughout the years, I have taken the professor's word as gospel when it comes to gaming accessories. I buy the binders he mentioned, the sleeves, hell, I even have one of those cases. You know the cases, the ones from Home Depot. You Commander players know what I'm talking about. And throughout the years, he's never steered me wrong. So when the Solarian Community College Kickstarter came out for the professor's own personally designed deck box, I was so excited, and then my heart broke when I realized I cannot afford this right now. I had personal things to take care of, and spending $45 on a deck box wasn't really in the cards. A couple years later, I see this video on my feed. I immediately called my friend at Soya, who is currently at the game store in the area that I know carries Gamegenic products, and asked him if they had it. He said they did, and he picked one up for me. That Friday, I held it in my hands, and I was finally able, for the first time, to give you my first impressions. And let me tell you, after years of waiting, and even more years of watching Solarian Community College reviews and him never failing me, and my heart racing with anticipation, it's okay. Like, it's like fine. The magnets are kind of weak, but I like the color, it's very vibrant. Thanks for watching. Okay, fine, that's not the actual review for this deck box. Today we're going to be discussing the Academic by the Professor and Gamegenic. And before I get started, I want to say I was not nice to this deck box. I do love the Professor, but I put this deck box through the absolute ringer, and it did very well. I will say that up front. It did have a couple problems, and we're going to get into that, but all in all, I really like this. We've got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time, so let's dive deep and talk about the Academic by Gamegenic. I'm Courier 6 of the Kaladesh Express, your #1 source for Universes Beyond and deck boxes, apparently. Okay, first things first, what is the Academic by Gamegenic? This is the deck box that the professor from Solarian Community College, along with Gamegenic, came up with to be the professor's perfect deck box. Its features include a capacity for 133 double sleeve cards, a slot for oversized cards, a removable divider inside the main compartment so you can store deck boxes, 2 removable drawers with magnetic flaps, both drawers being able to hold 40 double sleeve cards, a completely removable top, powerful magnets, and a premium Nexo fiber surface. Their MSRP is $49.99, and they hold standard size trading cards. That all sounds really good on paper, and honestly, most of those features hold true. This box is really good for holding 133 cards. It has a removable divider. You can stick other deck boxes inside this box if you want to. It does do all the things that it says, with the exception of one kind of major thing. Yeah! Magnets! Oh! And that is the magnets on the box. These magnets are exceptionally weak. I am shocked because I own other Gamegenic products. I have this Squire deck box here for my girlfriend's Lorcana deck, and the magnets are incredibly strong. Like, yeah, I can still pull them apart and open them, you know, with relative ease, but these things are tough, man. Like, they are some strong magnets. The Academic by Gamegenic, on the other hand, has some of the some of the weakest magnets I have seen on a premium deck box. This feels like the old Ultra Pro Alcove deck box magnets, the ones that just kind of fell apart when you would turn them over. Now, this deck box does have these divots in here that you can stick this bit into, which will also help hold it in place. So the magnets don't have to be that strong, and realistically, it does hold when going out to a local game store. Like I said, I've done a lot of testing with this. I've been carrying this around to and from school in the back of my trunk. 3 local game shops since owning it. I've dragged this thing around. It is going to hold. I'm not worried about my cards popping out, realistically. But the magnets, the strength of them do give me pause every time I open it. I'm like, wow, this could fall over and the cards could spill out. I could see that happening, but it hasn't happened as of yet, so I'm not going to ding that. It's just something to think about. I did, however, do a shake test. Now, before I show the results of the shake test, I want to say I don't find the shake test to be that useful of a metric when looking at deck boxes. You're not shaking your deck boxes, you're not throwing them around, you're not, rolling around the back of your trunk, really. And I did, and it stayed shut. But the shake test results for this were concerning to me a little bit. I'm going to show you now, and just keep in mind that this is not a realistic test. It is duplicated directly from the professor, though. So before performing that shake test, I forgot what decks I had in here. I had my modern hammer deck that you've seen on the channel that is quite foiled out, and my pioneer deck with quite a few expensive cards in there. And I meant to put my $20 commander deck in here so that I already know the results of that shake test. I knew the results before I did the shake test. I did shake test prior to that one, and my heart sank a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, when I saw those sleeves hit the ground, I saw what color they were, I was dying a bit. But like I said before, the shake test is not the end all be all for deck box testing. I asked my friend who was also at Wasteland, who also had an academic, if I could, check their magnets out, and they were about the same. So, but they like it. They like their deck box the way they are. I think that's fine. That's a personal preference thing. The divot holes will hold the deck box together pretty well, so it's not that bad. However, I did want to know if my academic was, ours, maybe it was a batch issue. That same shop is where he got his deck box from, where I got my deck box from. It could have been a batch issue. So I went and got another deck box, bought another one just to find out. I want to open this one on camera, check out the magnets as soon as I open the box, and just see for myself again. We could have just got bad ones. He didn't mind his, I mind mine. Let's find out with a third one and take a look. Okay, so this one, the magnets are a little stronger, not infinitely so, just a little bit stronger. Yeah, maybe just a little bit stronger. I will also say, and this could just because I've been running this around for so long and not exactly sure, but these materials feels ever so slightly different. This one, it could just be because it's brand new, but they do feel just ever so slightly different. Yeah, maybe you can hear it, I don't know, but they do feel a little different. Maybe they are. they look different. But yeah, I'm not reviewing this one. I'm reviewing this one, the one that I originally bought for the purpose of this review. And yeah, like I said, the magnets are, yeah, they're fine, I guess. They're gonna hold. The other thing I wanted to talk about when it came to this box was, where is it? It's this little black mark. That's from the rubbing of this black material against this continuously. It's not actually like my hands are dirty or anything. It is starting to come off onto the box, which is something to be aware of. And I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There is one stitch here that is coming apart pretty drastically. Again, I've had this for 4 days and I've been not nice to it, but still, I do expect the stitches to last a little longer. Even on my Beat as Hell Ultimate Guard twin flipping tray, there's not a stitch out of sight. It's like it's beat up. You can see some damages on the edge there. Wow, that's really red on the camera. But yeah, no, even on this old box here, the stitches are pretty intact. I've had this one for 4 days and yeah, some stitching issues. Decided to grab my blue twin flipping tray for the next part I want to talk about because yeah, that was hard to see. But yeah, this box, this twin flipping tray holds, I mean, not exactly the same amount of cards. Like I'm using it for single sleeved commander decks at the moment, but even when double sleeves, you take the trays out, they hold about the same amount of cards overall. And this is smaller. This is a smaller package than this. This is more functional than this, in my opinion. And I think this is the Academic's real competition. It's not these premium super nice deck boxes, because while it is a very nice deck box and the construction does feel nice, like I don't see a lot of glue bumps or bad stitches except for the one. I think, yeah, it's like, it's not really it's not like a showpiece, you know. But this is hard, sturdy, like everyday use kind of twin flipping tray. This is like its real competition. And if I was to pick one of these, like I was gonna buy one premium deck box to use for the rest of my life, probably be a twin flipping tray over the Academic. Even though I've said a lot of negative things, but again, some positive things, I do like the Academic more, I think. Okay, but Courier 6, why do you like the Academic more? You spent like so long just talking the most crap about it. And the honest answer is, there's just two honest answers. The first is, I think while it being far too big for the 1 or 2 decks it holds, I think it just looks really nice. Having this on my play space and using it, feeling like I have access to a toolbox, just gives me a nice tactile experience. I really like it for that. The other reason, the far more vain reason, is I'm a huge fan of the Professor, man. Like, he could have sold this deck box, the magnets could be completely useless, it just came with like an elastic band that went around it. I still would have got one of these. And I think that's the kind of mindset you got to go in with something like this. If you have a vanity deck, like this green one is going to my prized Tatsiova deck, which I will never show on camera. That's where that deck will live. That's what I'm going to use this for. It's going to sit there when I want to bring out the big bad Tatsiova deck. I'm going to pull out this really big bad deck box with, you know, one of my heroes' symbols emblazoned on it, and you know, that'll be really cool. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this one yet, because I didn't actually plan for this one, but you know, neat. But yeah, I think you have to accept that these are kind of vanity pieces. There's not going to be super functional everyday deck boxes. I am gonna probably still run this as my main deck box for Modern for the next couple weeks, at least until after SCG Atlanta. I'm gonna run this deck box because I really want to do further testing and see if I change my mind on anything. But like, my initial impressions are, this deck box is a showpiece because you like the Professor, not the most super functional deck box. You have anything else to say positive? You've been kind of a jerk this whole video. Yeah, I really like the interior lining of this thing. I think this feels very nice. I feel like it's going to protect my cards. That's the other thing. I think this deck box will protect your cards. Like, you could probably drop something heavy on this, and I'm not too worried about it crumbling. So that's a positive, you know. There are, like, that sounds like a backhanded compliment, but there are a lot of deck boxes that I would not trust that to be the case. The Boulder being the big exception to that, but you know, even the Gamegenic Bastion, the plastic feels a little thinner. I feel like this probably offers more protection than that, and I like the Bastion. I really like the interior divider thing to put different deck boxes in. I think it is a really nifty feature, and this acrylic is clear as heck. The fact that these drawers do hold cards is a really big plus for me. I really like that I can hide my sideboard so no judges can come over and be like, you swapped a card over, because, you know, it's hidden behind 2 walls of I didn't do that. Yeah, and the fact that both top loaders can fit here and here is also a really big plus for me. I use top loaders for my commander decks, and I think that's really cool. Alright, my final thoughts on this deck box. I really hope to see a revision on it eventually. I am glad I own both of these, you know. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Professor. He could have sold me anything, I would have bought it. It's that kind of guy, you know. I like you, I'm going to support you. I do hope to see a version 2 on these that has stronger magnets. I'd like to see one that's just ever so slightly smaller. I don't know exactly where you cut space, but just slightly smaller than this. Sticking this to my bag is kind of a hassle. I still daily carry my archive that carries my, well, it's not full right now, but 2 commander decks and another 60 card deck, and, you know, like shoving both this and one of these in my bag to, like, you know, show off to my buddies or whatever, it feels like a lot, honestly. So I'd like this to be just slightly smaller. I guess I just want to end the video off saying I am glad I own these. Thank you, Professor, for making them. I still think this is a very cool deck box, even though it's not perfectly for me. I'm sure there are people out there it is absolutely perfect for, and I cannot wait to see what else you and Gamegenic or whoever else you partner with come up with next. And Gamegenic, I really do like your products. Like I said, I do own the Squire for my girlfriend. I actually plan to pick some of these up for myself because I think this is a very nice, compact, premium deck box, and I have decks that I'd like protected in a compact, premium kind of way. So this is not a bash on anything, it's just my personal take on them. I'm Courier6 of the Calidus Express. I hope you enjoyed this first impressions of the Academic, and I'll be seeing you soon. Oh, and I did not forget about the Fey Dalton video. I'm doing quite a bit of research on it, so that'll be coming soon. I was going to do it this week, but I got these. I wanted to go ahead and do some testing with them while it was still relevant. I did not forget about I did not forget about Fey Dalton, trust me. And I also did not forget about the Marcus video. I will also have that out soon. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate your support.